Hello, everyone, and welcome back to English with Paul, the podcast where we make learning English fun, practical, and easy. I'm your host, Paul, and I'm excited to be here with you today.
And I'm Emma. Hi, everyone. I'm thrilled to be joining Paul today as his co-host.
That's right. Emma is here to help us out, and we're going to have a fantastic show for you today. Now, if you're new to the podcast, welcome. And if you're a returning listener, thanks for coming back.
We love having you here with us. Today's episode is going to be super useful because we're focusing on something we all need.
Exactly, Emma. Today we're covering 25 daily English phrases for everyday use. These are phrases you'll hear native speakers use all the time, and more importantly, phrases you can start using right away to sound more natural and confident in English.
Whether you're at work, chatting with friends, shopping, or just going about your daily routine, these phrases will definitely come in handy.
We'll not only teach you the phrases, but we'll also give you the context of when and how to use them, plus some examples to make everything crystal clear. So grab a pen and paper or open your notes app because you're going to want to write these down. Are you ready to dive in, Emma?
Absolutely. Let's get started with our 25 daily English phrases.
All right, let's start with our first phrase. Number 1, I'll be there in a sec.
This is a really common informal phrase that means I'll be there in a second or I'll be there very soon. We use sec as a short way to say second.
Exactly. It's what you say when someone is waiting for you and you want to let them know you're coming right away, but you need just a tiny bit more time.
Here's a perfect example. Imagine your friend calls you from outside your house saying, "Hey, I'm here to pick you up," and you're still getting ready. You might say, "Okay, I'll be there in a sec. I just need to grab my keys."
Or maybe you're at the office and your colleague says, "Can you help me with this?" And you're finishing an email. You'd say, "Sure, I'll be there in a sec."
The key thing to remember is that this is very informal. You'd use it with friends, family, or close colleagues, but probably not in a very formal business meeting.
Great. Now let's move on to phrase number 2. Let me grab my stuff.
This is another super useful everyday phrase. Stuff is an informal word that means things or belongings, and grab means to quickly take or pick up something.
So when you say, "Let me grab my stuff," you're basically saying, "Let me quickly get my things," or "Let me pick up my belongings."
Here's a great example. You're leaving work and your coworker asks if you want to go get coffee. You might say, "Sure, let me grab my stuff and I'll meet you by the elevator."
Or imagine you're at your friend's house and it's time to leave. You'd say, "Okay, let me grab my stuff," as you collect your jacket, bag, phone, and whatever else you brought with you.
Stuff is really versatile. It can refer to anything: your keys, wallet, phone, bags, clothes, papers, basically any of your personal items. It's much more casual than saying, "Let me collect my belongings."
Moving on to phrase number 3. It slipped my mind.
Oh, this is such a useful one. This phrase means I forgot or I didn't remember. When something slips your mind, it means you simply forgot about it.
It's a really polite and natural way to say you forgot something without sounding too harsh or making excuses.
Perfect example. Your friend asks you, "Did you remember to bring the book I lent you?" And you completely forgot. Instead of just saying, "I forgot," you could say, "Oh no, it completely slipped my mind. I'll bring it tomorrow."
Or maybe your boss asks about a report you were supposed to finish. You might say, "I'm so sorry. It slipped my mind with everything else going on. I'll have it ready by this afternoon."
It's a much softer way to admit you forgot something, and it sounds more natural than just saying, "I forgot."
Now for phrase number 4. I'm heading out now.
This means I'm leaving now, or I'm going out now. The word heading means going in a direction or moving toward a place.
You use this when you're about to leave somewhere, whether it's your home, office, or any location.
Here's a common scenario. You're at work and you're done for the day. You might tell your coworkers, "All right, everyone, I'm heading out now. See you tomorrow."
Or you could be at home getting ready to meet friends for dinner. You text them, "Just finished getting ready. I'm heading out now. I'll be there in 20 minutes.
It's more casual than saying, "I'm departing," but more specific than just saying, "I'm going." It clearly indicates that you're in the process of leaving.
Let's continue with phrase number 5. Can you keep an eye on this?
This is a really handy phrase that means, "Can you watch this?" or "Can you monitor this for me?" When you keep an eye on something, you're watching it or paying attention to it.
You use this when you need someone to watch something temporarily while you step away or do something else.
Here's a perfect example. You're cooking dinner and you need to answer the door. You might say to your roommate, "Can you keep an eye on the pasta? I don't want it to overcook."
Or at work, if you're printing some important documents and need to go to a meeting, you could ask a colleague, "Can you keep an eye on the printer? Let me know if it jams or runs out of paper."
It doesn't mean you need to stare at it constantly. Just check on it occasionally to make sure everything's okay.
Now, for phrase number 6, I'm almost done.
This means I'm nearly finished or I'll be finished very soon. It's what you say when you're close to completing something.
It's a great way to let someone know that you don't need much more time to finish what you're doing.
For example, if your friend is waiting for you to get ready to go out and they ask, "Are you ready yet?" you might say, "I'm almost done, just need to put on my shoes."
Or at work, if your manager asks about a project you're working on, you could say, "I'm almost done with the report. I should have it ready within the next hour."
It's reassuring because it tells the person that they won't have to wait much longer and you're making good progress.
Moving on to phrase number 7, let me check real quick.
This means let me check very quickly or let me look at this briefly. Real quick is an informal way to say very quickly or really fast.
You use this when someone asks you something and you need to look at or verify information, but it won't take long.
Here's a great example. Your friend asks, "What time does the movie start?" And you need to look at your phone. You'd say, "Let me check real quick," and then look up the movie times.
Or at work, if someone asks, "Do we have a meeting tomorrow?" you might say, "Let me check real quick," as you look at your calendar to confirm.
The phrase real quick is very informal and conversational. It's perfect for everyday situations, but you might want to say, "Let me check quickly" in more formal settings.
Now, for phrase number 8, I didn't catch that.
This means I didn't hear you or I didn't understand what you said. When you catch something in conversation, it means you heard and understood it.
It's much more natural than saying, "I didn't hear you," and it's a great way to ask someone to repeat themselves.
Perfect example, you're on a phone call and the connection is bad, so you miss part of what the person said. You could say, "Sorry, I didn't catch that. Could you repeat it?"
Or maybe you're in a noisy restaurant and your friend says something, but you can't hear clearly. You'd say, "I didn't catch that. What did you say?"
It works for both situations, when you literally didn't hear the words, or when you heard them but didn't understand the meaning.
Let's continue with phrase number 9, I'm not in the mood.
This means I don't feel like doing it right now, or I'm not interested at the moment. When you're in the mood for something, it means you feel like doing it or you want to do it.
So when you say you're not in the mood, you are politely declining or expressing that you don't want to do something right now.
Here's a common example. Your friends invite you to go dancing, but you had a long day and just want to relax. You might say, "Thanks for inviting me, but I'm not in the mood to go out tonight."
Or maybe someone suggests watching a comedy movie, but you're feeling serious today. You could say, "I'm not in the mood for a comedy right now. How about we watch something else?"
It's a gentle way to say no without being rude, and it shows that it's about how you're feeling in that moment, not about the activity itself.
Now, for phrase number 10, it's not a big deal.
This phrase means it's not important or it's not a serious problem. You use it to downplay something or to make someone feel better when they're worried about something minor.
It's a way to reassure people that whatever happened isn't worth stressing about.
Perfect example. Your friend spills coffee on your shirt by accident and starts apologizing repeatedly. You might say, "Don't worry about it. It's not a big deal. I can just wash it."
Or maybe you're late to meet someone and you're apologizing. They might respond, "It's not a big deal. I only got here 5 minutes ago myself."
You can also use it about yourself. If someone thanks you for helping them with something small, you could say, "It's not a big deal. I was happy to help."
Moving on to phrase number 11, I'm swamped right now.
This is a colorful way to say, I am extremely busy or I have too much work to do. When you're swamped, you feel like you're drowning in tasks or responsibilities.
It comes from the idea of being in a swamp, where you're stuck and can barely move. That's how you feel when you have too much to do.
Here's a perfect example. Your colleague asks if you can help with an extra project and you already have a full schedule. You might say, "I'd love to help, but I'm swamped right now with the quarterly reports."
Or if a friend invites you to lunch during a busy workday, you could say, "I'm swamped right now, but maybe we can do lunch next week."
It's more expressive than just saying "I'm busy" and really conveys that you're overwhelmed with work or tasks.
Now for phrase number 12, let's play it by ear.
This means let's decide as we go, or let's see what happens and then make a decision. Instead of making firm plans, you're staying flexible and adapting to the situation.
The expression comes from music. When musicians play by ear, they don't use sheet music. They just listen and play what sounds right.
Great example. You and your friends are planning a day trip, but the weather forecast is uncertain. You might say, "Let's play it by ear. If it's sunny, we'll go to the beach. If it's raining, we can go to the mall instead."
Or maybe you're planning an evening out, but you're not sure how you'll feel after work. You could tell your friends, "I'm not sure if I want dinner or just drinks. Let's play it by ear when we meet up."
It's perfect when you want to keep your options open and make decisions based on how things develop.
Let's continue with phrase number 13. That's not gonna fly.
This means that's not acceptable, or that won't work, or that's not going to be approved. It's a way to say that an idea, suggestion, or behavior won't be tolerated or accepted.
It's quite informal and direct. You're basically saying that something has no chance of being successful or accepted.
Here's an example. Your teenager tells you they want to stay out until 3 a.m. on a school night. You might respond, "That's not going to fly. You need to be home by 11 p.m.
Or in a work situation, if someone suggests skipping important safety procedures to save time, you could say, "That's not going to fly. We can't compromise on safety standards."
It's a firm but casual way to reject something that's unreasonable or unacceptable.
Moving on to phrase number 14, I'll figure it out.
This means I'll find a solution, or I'll work out how to do it. When you figure something out, you solve a problem or discover how something works.
It shows confidence and independence. You're telling someone that even though you might not know the answer right now, you'll find a way to solve it.
Here's a great example. Your boss gives you a new project using software you've never used before. You might say, I haven't used this program before, but don't worry, I'll figure it out.
Or maybe you're trying to assemble furniture with confusing instructions. When your friend offers to help, you could say, Thanks, but I'll figure it out myself. I just need to take my time.
It's a really positive phrase that shows you're willing to take on challenges and find solutions independently.
Now for phrase number 15, I've got a lot on my plate.
This is another way to say, I'm very busy, or I have many responsibilities right now. The plate refers to all the tasks and responsibilities you're dealing with, like food on a dinner plate.
It's similar to I'm swamped, but this phrase focuses more on having many different things to handle rather than just being overwhelmed.
Perfect example. Your friend asks if you can volunteer for a charity event, but you're already managing work, family commitments, and other activities. You might say, I'd love to help, but I've got a lot on my plate right now.
Or at work, when your manager asks you if you can take on an additional project, you could say, I've got a lot on my plate this month, but I could probably start it in a few weeks.
It's a polite way to explain that you're busy without going into all the details of what you're doing.
Let's continue with phrase number 16. I'm just messing with you.
This means I'm just joking with you, or I'm just teasing you playfully. When you're messing with someone, you're playing a harmless joke or teasing them in a friendly way.
It's what you say after you've been joking or teasing someone to let them know you weren't being serious.
Here's a fun example. You tell your friend that their favorite celebrity is at the coffee shop next door, and they get really excited. Then you laugh and say, I'm just messing with you, but wouldn't that be cool?
Or maybe you pretend to be upset about something minor your roommate did, and when they start apologizing, you smile and say, Relax, I'm just messing with you. I don't actually care.
It's important to use this phrase to clarify when you're joking, so people know you're being playful and not mean.
Moving on to phrase number 17. It's up to you.
This means you decide, or the choice is yours. When something is up to you, it means the other person gets to make the decision.
It's a way to give someone else the power to choose, either because you don't have a preference or because you want them to decide.
Here's a perfect example. Your friend asks, should we watch a movie or go for a walk? And you're happy with either option. You might say, it's up to you. I'm fine with whatever you prefer.
Or maybe your colleague asks, should we schedule the meeting for Tuesday or Wednesday? And both days work for you. You could say, it's up to you. My schedule is flexible both days.
It's a nice way to be accommodating and let the other person choose what they'd prefer.
Now for phrase number 18. Don't quote me on that.
This means, I'm not completely sure about this information, so don't treat it as a fact. Or, this might not be accurate, so don't repeat it as if I'm certain.
You use this when you're sharing information, but you want to warn the person that you might be wrong or that the information isn't confirmed.
Great example. Your coworker asks about when the new office policies will be announced, and you think you heard something, but you're not sure. You might say, I think it's supposed to happen next month, but don't quote me on that.
Or maybe a friend asks about movie show times, and you remember seeing them earlier, but you're not completely certain. You could say, I think the 7 p.m. showing is sold out, but don't quote me on that. You should check online to be sure.
It's a responsible way to share information while making it clear that the person should verify it themselves.
Let's continue with phrase number 19. That's more like it.
This is an expression of approval or satisfaction. You use it when something improves or becomes the way you wanted it to be.
It means, now that's better, or that's what I was looking for. You're showing that you're pleased with an improvement.
Here's a fun example. You're at a restaurant and your first meal is cold, so they bring you a hot replacement. You taste it and say, "That's more like it. This is exactly how it should be."
Or maybe you're teaching someone how to play guitar, and after several attempts, they finally play the chord correctly. You'd say, "That's more like it. You've got it now."
It's an encouraging phrase that shows someone they're on the right track and you're happy with the improvement.
Moving on to phrase number 20. I'm all set.
This means I'm ready or I have everything I need. When you're all set, you're completely prepared for something.
You can use it to show that you're ready to go or that you don't need anything else because you already have what you need.
Perfect example. You're about to leave for a trip and your friend asks, "Do you need me to help you pack anything else?" You might say, "Thanks, but I'm all set. I've got everything I need."
Or at a restaurant, when the waiter asks, "Can I get you anything else?" you could respond, "No, thank you. I'm all set," to show that you don't need anything more.
It's a polite and clear way to indicate that you're completely ready or satisfied with what you have.
Now for phrase number 21. I'll pass.
This is a polite way to say no thank you or I don't want to participate. When you pass on something, you're declining or choosing not to do it.
It's more casual than saying no thank you, but still polite. It comes from card games where you can pass instead of taking a turn.
Here's a great example. Your friends are ordering pizza and asking what toppings you want, but you're not hungry. You might say, "You guys go ahead and order, I'll pass."
Or maybe your colleagues are going out for drinks after work, but you want to go home. You could say, "Thanks for inviting me, but I'll pass tonight. I'm pretty tired."
It's a simple, friendly way to decline without having to give a long explanation.
Let's continue with phrase number 23. That's pushing it.
This means that's going too far or that's unreasonable. You use it when someone is asking for something that's at the limit of what's acceptable or maybe even beyond it.
It suggests that someone is testing boundaries or asking for more than they should reasonably expect.
Here's a perfect example. Your friend borrowed your car for a few hours, but now they want to keep it for the entire weekend. You might say, "A few hours was fine, but the whole weekend? That's pushing it."
Or at work, if someone asks you to finish a week-long project by tomorrow, you could say, "I can try to prioritize it, but finishing it by tomorrow? That's pushing it."
It's a diplomatic way to tell someone that their request or expectation is unreasonable without being too harsh about it.
Moving on to phrase number 23, no rush.
This means take your time or there's no hurry. You use it to let someone know they don't need to do something quickly.
It's a considerate way to tell someone that they can work at their own pace without feeling pressured.
Here's a perfect example. You ask your colleague to review a document, and they look worried about their busy schedule. You might say, "No rush. I don't need it until next week, so take your time."
Or maybe you're waiting for a friend to get ready to go out, and they're apologizing for taking so long. You could say, "No rush. I'm in no hurry. Take all the time you need."
It's a really thoughtful phrase that shows you're being patient and understanding about timing.
Now for phrase number 25. I'm good either way.
This means both options are fine with me, or I don't have a preference between the choices. You're showing that you're flexible and happy with whatever decision is made.
It's similar to "it's up to you," but this phrase specifically emphasizes that you're satisfied with any of the available options.
Great example. Your friend asks, "Do you want to meet at 6 p.m. or 7 p.m.?" And both times work perfectly for you. You might say, "I'm good either way. Whatever works better for you."
Or maybe someone asks,
should me take the highway or the scenic route? And you don't mind which one. You could say, I'm good either way. Both routes are nice.
It's a helpful phrase when you want to be accommodating and show that you're flexible with the decision.
And finally, phrase number 25. You do you.
This is a very modern, casual expression that means do whatever makes you happy or make your own choices. It's a way of saying you support someone's decision to be themselves.
It shows acceptance and encouragement for someone to follow their own path, even if it might be different from what others would choose.
Here's a perfect example. Your friend is worried about what others will think of their unique fashion style. You might say, don't worry about what other people think. You do you.
Or maybe someone is hesitating about taking a job in a different city because it's unconventional. You could say, if that's what will make you happy, then you do you. Follow your dreams.
It's an empowering phrase that encourages individuality and personal choice. It's very popular, especially among younger people.
And there you have it. Those are our 25 daily English phrases that you can start using right away.
Wow, that was fantastic. We covered so many useful phrases today. I hope everyone listening feels more confident about using these in their daily conversations.
Absolutely. Remember, the key to improving your English is practice. Don't try to memorize all 25 phrases at once. Pick maybe 3 or 4 that seem most useful for your daily life and start using those.
That's great advice, Paul. And listeners, don't be afraid to make mistakes. Native speakers will appreciate that you're trying to use natural expressions, even if you don't get them perfect the first time.
Exactly. These phrases will help you sound more natural and conversational in English. You'll be surprised how much more confident you'll feel once you start using them regularly.
If today's episode was helpful, we'd really appreciate it if you could subscribe to English with Paul. It helps us reach more English learners like you.
And if you have any questions about today's phrases, or if there are specific topics you'd like us to cover in future episodes, feel free to reach out to us. We love hearing from our listeners.
Don't forget to practice these phrases this week. Try to use at least 1 or 2 of them in your conversations and see how natural they start to feel.
Thanks so much for joining us today, everyone. I'm Paul.
And I'm Emma. Thanks for listening to English with Paul.
Until next time, keep practicing, keep learning, and remember, you've got this.
See you in the next episode.